Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is day 9 of my Christmas series where I hang out with some of you who maybe don't have people to spend Christmas with. So I'm here to show you that you don't have to be alone. And last couple of days I've read out a bunch of comments, but I got this email and I thought we'd go over this today because it's quite a long email. There's a hell of a lot here and it's really awesome. It's by a guy who I did a coaching call with, and I have his permission to talk about this. I asked him first, and he's completely okay with me reading it all out. And I did a coaching call with him, and he sent me this email. I think I did the coaching call with him earlier in the year. I think he says that in here somewhere, but I did a call with him earlier, and he's done some amazing shit. So I'm going to read it out, and we'll respond to this, but really, this is a big celebration of this guy and all the effort that he's put in and some of the big successes that he has had. So he says, "Dear Andy, that's me. Hopefully you remember me, but I want to start off by saying that you've changed my life completely. And I'm not just saying it as a cliche or whatever, but you truly changed my life, man. This could be a long read, but I wanted to bear my testimony, I guess, of all the changes that I've made thanks to you. And you say thanks to me, but you're the one that's done it, my friend. I just told you what to do, or I gave you some suggestions on what to do. You're the one that did it. When we first spoke on the video call, I was lost and desperate for help. I don't know why, but something about your content back in April 2022 seemed genuine and the real deal. You had receipts or proof, and something about your voice told me that you weren't angry or resentful like other dating coaches a lot of guys make. Yeah, I used to be quite angry and resentful. So some of my early content, even then, my earliest content, I don't think I'm angry or resentful, but I definitely did go through an angry and resentful phase for sure. And I could resonate with a lot of what you wrote about. Anyways, after we spoke and the whole not having money issue, so I couldn't do your coaching, I think we still did one coaching call though. I still wanted to commit in getting this issue fixed, my dating and sex life, because I had faith in you for some reason. So all that time until today, I kept watching and reading your content, especially about the getting laid and dating aspect of it. But man, where do I start? Well, after April, I kept watching your videos and hearing your podcasts, and I guess brainwashing myself into thinking I can do it too. I kept hearing some of my favorite episodes like, "She's out of my league," or "Relax, she'll eventually get laid," or "No arms, no legs, no excuses." Yeah, that was a video that I did about a guy who has no arms and no legs, and he's done amazing things in his life. He has a wife, he has kids, he's just living this amazing, beautiful life. His name is Nick. I can never pronounce his name, but like Nick Vachusevic or Vachuvic. Can never pronounce his name, but yeah, he's the ultimate example of someone who hasn't said, "Oh, but I'm short, I can't meet women," or I have no arms and no legs, I can't do this. No, he just went and took action. And he's a motivational speaker and he's written books and stuff like that. So he's a great, interesting human being. Just things that resonated with me because I've been making excuses because of fear. Fear of rejection, fear that this won't work out, fear I wasn't good enough, all the good stuff. But I took it step by step. I eventually got a Hinge in October, and that's when my journey started. I got around 12 matches in 3 days. I was shocked. Yeah, a lot of people procrastinate their dating life and they don't make a Hinge or a Tinder, even though it's something that they really want to do because they think, "I'm not ready yet. I'm not good looking enough yet. I don't have good enough pictures." There's even a female coaching client that we have in the group right now who was going to wait. She planned on waiting until like next year, like 2024, until she started dating. And a lot of us gently said to her, "Do you need to wait? What if you were to start right now?" And she started like 2 months ago. And man, she's just had some beautiful, amazing, interesting experiences with a lot of like amazing men because she didn't wait. She didn't wait until she had better pictures or until she lost weight or any of the things that she's working on. So I see this so often. Somebody finally decides, "Do you know what? I'm not going to wait. Yeah, I'm not my perfect self. Yes, I still want to lose weight or get better pictures or whatever else, but I'm going to start." And then people are so surprised that you might be a little bit further along than you think. Like you might right now be perfectly capable of meeting other human beings and having some fun dates and some sexual experiences with them, but you're telling yourself a story of "I'm not ready yet." And we usually use that story of "I'm not ready yet" to avoid rejection. We're worried that we're not good enough. We're worried that we'll get rejected. And it's like, No, like everybody on the planet can find somebody or multiple people if they want to, but often we just tell ourselves we're not ready yet or we're not good enough. So he goes on to say my pics were chosen from my camera roll, on his phone, so nothing special about the photos and it still worked. Yeah, I see that all the time. And even if you have absolutely horrible, horrific pictures, or every now and then, I mean, this happens quite a lot. I'll have a coaching client, like a male coaching client, who says, I literally have no pictures of myself. Like I've never in pictures. That's quite common. You can still go outside and talk to women on the street. You can still talk to the cute girl in the coffee shop, or you can go to bars, or you can just walk outside right now and there'll be 100 women on the street that you could say hello to. And you don't have to be good at it. You don't have to be some alpha male Chad who's perfect. No, it's just about saying hello. Well, I went on my first date 2 weeks after my Hinge with a really cute girl, and it was hella fun. We got some desserts, we chatted, we smoked weed in her car, which led to me making a move, and we made out. I did try to go to the back seat, because, yeah, I know. But she didn't want to, and it was perfectly fine. We still made out. It was a success. Yeah, sounds like you guys had fun. Until she ghosted me. Yeah, that will happen sometimes. It was my first time being ghosted and it hurt, but I remembered that you said it's a numbers game and it happens. It does, particularly if you're dating casually and particularly if you're in the West. It happens a little bit less in other countries. There's plenty of countries where people don't ghost, but yeah, in the West it can happen quite a lot. Generally speaking, it happens less and less the more like the further along you get with dating and the more experienced you get a feeling of who's probably going to, not that you can always predict, but you screen for certain things like reliability, and you have less hookups and you go on a couple of dates with someone before you have sex. Like Imogen and I intentionally do that. We don't have sex on the first day anymore because we're trying to screen for people that are more likely to stick around and less likely to ghost. And obviously dating people who are a little older or who are a little more emotionally mature, like all of these kind of things, you can minimize ghosting a little bit, but it still happens. Like it is what it is. It's kind of part of the reality of things, at least in the West. So he goes on to say she did text a few weeks later saying that she felt bad ghosting and that she had a good time, but she was focused on other stuff. No problem. That's good of her to like text later. That's good. I like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, people are going to do whatever they're going to do, and part of dating in countries that have a lot of casual sex is people just ghost. I used to get really annoyed at it. I hated it for the long time, for like the longest time. And I was like, how could somebody ghost? That's like such an evil thing to do. And then I would kind of just look at my own life and say, well, have I ever ghosted anyone ever in my life? Yes, I have a couple of times. Okay. Well, then that's probably why people have ghosted as well, because maybe they didn't mean to. Maybe they were just trying to do their best. Not everybody knows how to say, I don't want to see you anymore. People worried that they might hurt you. They worried that you'll yell at them. They worried that you'll say they're a bad person. And a lot of people ghost because it's easier. It's like an avoidance of the problem. It's like burying your head in the sand. So when you can understand it and embrace it a little bit and realize that everybody's just trying to do their best, they're not trying to ghost you to hurt you. They're ghosting you because they likely just don't know how to say, I don't really want to see you anymore. They're worried that they will hurt you. It hurts you a lot less when you understand it. Sounds like you're in a pretty good place with this stuff anyway. That's how I treated Hinge. Also, I liked a bunch of girls and a few matched with me, but I kept remembering that it's a numbers game. That mindset helped me a lot. Yeah, and when we say it's a numbers game, what we mean is not every human being on the planet is going to like you. And your only mission is to go and talk to a lot of people and find the people that really like you and find the people that you like. You're not going to connect with every single person on the planet. So sometimes I've learned that, or something I've learned that works for me is being bold, chatting for a day, and depending on the conversation, I ask her out and it works. No waiting a couple of days or getting to know her over the app. I guess too that it shows confidence in yourself. Yeah. I don't sit there and talk a lot on the dating apps because it's just pixels on a screen. I'm not talking to a human being. Like I know that I am, but like it feels more like I'm talking to a phone screen. And so my mission is to get someone out on a date as soon as possible. And if someone isn't interested in going on a date, like if they say, "Hey, can we just talk for a while first before I give you my phone number?" I politely say, "Hey, I'm just here to meet people. Like I don't like texting. It's just not really my thing. It feels like I'm talking to a phone screen. So if you want to give me a phone number and we can go out on a date and see if we like each other, feel free. Otherwise, like no harm, no bad feelings. But if you don't want to do that, just tell me now, and yeah, it's all good. And some women say, yeah, I kind of just want to talk a little bit more. Cool, unmatch immediately. But if they're willing to meet up, then awesome, I meet up. So yeah, you don't have to sit on the apps and like build rapport or get to know each other. And obviously, if somebody does want to sit, if both people do want to sit on the app talking for a long time, more power to you. At the end of the day, do whatever you want. But generally speaking, my general advice for the vast majority of human beings is meet as soon as humanly possible. And you don't have to have sex, you don't have to do anything. Just meet for a casual date. Meet and go sit in a cafe or something and chat. But in person is so much more real than a phone. And a phone is just theoretical, it's just pixels on a screen. You don't know the human being. You can't fully get to know someone through a phone. You don't know what they sound like. You don't know what they look like. You don't know, how they will giggle at your jokes. You don't get to smell them. You don't get to see their smile. There's just so much missing over a phone screen. Even if you do a video chat, I know in like 2020 with all of the lockdowns and all of that kind of shit, all of the dating apps were pushing this idea of having like virtual dates. And they were like, do a video call and it's the same thing as dating in person. It's like, it's really not. It's just absolutely not. So again, if you enjoy dating over a phone, go for it. But for most people who are either trying to have sex or trying to build a connection or trying to build some intimacy and get to know people, it's just not fully possible over a phone, at least not in this current day and age at this point in time. Maybe one day there'll be some crazy technology with holograms and shit like that, and we can almost meet in person through a phone, but we're not there yet. I guess to blah, blah, blah. So I kept going on dates, and honestly, I was content that I was just going on dates with girls I found attractive. Yeah, that period can be really fun. When you're just getting some dates and some phone numbers, it can be very like validating, and it's just nice to meet other human beings. It's very social as well, if nothing else. I didn't care if they ghosted me or I didn't like them after the date. I guess I was boosting my ego with knowing I can go out on dates. Yeah, and having a good time and meeting some people. Like I said, it's a very social thing as well. Then after a month or so, I told my friend who was a photographer that we should do a photo shoot for Insta, like for Instagram. But I also wanted to put the pics on Hinge, duh. And we did. And it went hella awesome. Actually, it's funny because I invited this girl out to take pictures with us that day. So I had a date taking pictures. Lol. Yeah, I've had a couple of coaching clients who've done that in the past, where they have a date with a chick and a photographer's only free that day. So they're like, do you want to come on my weird photo shoot? And the chick's like, sure, why not? It'd be interesting. And yep, I uploaded those pictures on Hinge and holy shit, my results 10 times. They are professional looking pictures and the quality of women that I matched with went up so much, like really hot women. I was shocked and hella excited. But, and here's the but, it's more of a numbers game. Of course, life's always a numbers game. Not everybody is going to want to date you. Not everybody is going to want, coaching or to buy your product. You're not going to like every job that you work at or that you apply for. You're not going to be friends with every person. Like, you're not going to continue being friends with every person that you make friends with. I think people sort of hang on a lot and they go, I got to hang on to my friends. I got to hang on to this relationship. I got to hang on to this job. I got to hang on to this apartment. People are very like attached. It's why I resonate so much with Buddhism, which very much focuses on non-attachment. In other words, Buddhism is the ultimate realization of the fact that life is a numbers game. The reason is because obviously there have been more options that sometimes we get lost between matches. Yeah, as in like women have lots of options, of course, and you eventually will as well. Or stuff happens. Yeah, life gets in the way. You're not going to meet every person that you match with. And you're going to match with people. This applies to men and women, by the way. You're going to match with people that you both really hit it off and you're both so excited to meet up. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet this person. But one or both of you get busy and you just don't end up meeting up. A lot of the time people read into that too much and they go, but why the hell isn't she meeting me? She was so excited. I don't understand. She literally said, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And then last minute she changed her mind and now she won't meet me. It's like, that's life, man. Like, that's why we say it's a numbers game. Life gets in the way. So I played the numbers game much harder and it started working. I started going out with hotter women. I then tried other dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, etc. But honestly, Bumble was the second best for me. Yeah, Tinder was all right, not because I got no matches, but they were just so damn flaky. I know that's normal. Yeah, so this paragraph is why I say just try different dating apps in your area. Like for some people, Tinder is the best, for some people, Bumble, for some people, Hinge. Right now, Imogen and I only use Hinge. We don't use Tinder, we're not using Bumble, and that's changed. There's been times in the past where I only use Tinder. So use whichever apps you want, use whichever apps are giving you the most results or whatever it might be that you're looking for. As much as the successes and progress are awesome, I had lots of trials also. I assume you mean trials. I'm going to edit your email for you. There you go, trials. One of the biggest challenges was that I kept getting ghosted after the first date, even if we did have a fun time, etc. I was confused and hurt. I didn't know what was going on. I seriously asked my friends and people close to me if I looked like my pictures. I had a fear that I was a catfish, lol, but they all said I looked like my pictures, so I don't know what happened. This is when I realized that maybe a lot of this is random, and I'll get to that idea in a second. Yeah, and that's why sometimes I'll get someone who's like, I've just been ghosted, like, can you tell me why? And I'm like, I don't fucking know why. How am I supposed to know why? There might be 500, like, you're dealing with another human being. She might have one of 5,000 reasons why she ghosted you or doesn't want to see you again. Same thing applies to, women and men. I've had a few female clients and they say the same thing. Like, hey, went out on a date with this guy and I was really into him, but now he doesn't seem into me. Like, why? Like, what's wrong with me? Is it because I'm ugly? Is it because this? And it's like, no, because you're dealing with a human being who has his own wants and needs and preferences and likes and desires and all of that. And I don't know what's in his head. I can't mind read. So you can, if you want to, if someone ghosts you, you can reach out to them and say, hey, no hard feelings and like completely non-judgmental, but I'm trying to work on myself. And so I was wondering if you would mind, saying why you ghosted. And again, no judgment. I'm just trying to improve myself. If it was me, tell me. If it was just that you're busy, let me know. I've sent that text quite a lot. I used to send that in the past all the time. I don't really send it now because I just don't really care and I'm too busy. If someone ghosts me or doesn't want to spend time with me, it's like, cool. The same as like, if anything, I think I get ghosted way more with coaching. I get a lot of people that will apply to the coaching and they'll go through the trouble of filling out the form, and it's this long questionnaire that you have to really put a lot of effort and time into filling out before I'll even read it. Like, you have to fill the whole thing out before it even makes it to my inbox. It's not like you can just email and be like, hi, I wanted to do coaching. No, like you have to fill out a fucking questionnaire to show that you're serious. And they'll go through that whole process, and then I'll email them and I'll be like, cool, let's book in a call. We can sit down. It's a free call. I'll talk to you. We'll see if you want to go ahead and, what you want to do and what you're concerned about and what you want help with and all of that. And we'll book in a time, and then they just won't show up. Or they'll email me last minute and say, hey, sorry, I changed my mind. And I could sit there and try and say, fuck, what's wrong? Are my prices too high? Is it because I'm bald? Is it because I'm ugly? Is it because of, I didn't do a good job of coaching? Is it something I said in a recent video? Like, am I just not professional enough? Am I too professional? What is it? And I could overanalyze the shit out of it. And I did a little bit at the start, if I'm honest, in the first couple of years. But at some point, it's just like, if they don't want coaching with me, then they don't want coaching with me. Cool. Like, that's it. That's all that I need to read into it. They didn't want to do coaching for whatever reason. Or this person didn't want to date me for whatever reason. So this shit gets a lot easier the more you do it, sort of thing. And the more you realize I can't control other people. And a book that really helps with this is the Byron Katie book that I talk about all the time called I Need Your Love. Is That True? But Buddhism helps as well, and really just talking to a lot of people and realizing that people have their own likes and dislikes and preferences, and it's usually not so much about you. Sometimes it is, and there's certain things you can do to reduce flakes and reduce ghosting. I get flaked and ghosted a hell of a lot less than I used to. Self-improvement definitely helps more than anything, like improving your looks, improving your confidence, all of that kind of stuff. Screening out people that you think are unreliable. Like in the early days, I used to date the most unreliable people or go out on dates with the most unreliable people, like 18-year-old girls who tend to be just like the age range or the group that's going to be like the least reliable. They don't even have calendars, most of them. So it's like they forget. They literally will forget that they had a date with you. And you text them that morning, say, hey, I'm looking forward to tonight. Can't wait to see you. And they're like, oh, shit, I forgot that we were going on a date. And then they don't show up. And so dating older women has and when I say older, I mean like now the age range that we date is like, I would just say girls in their 20s, We're still open to 18 or 19-year-old girls, but it is generally women in their 20s and even older. Like, but women in their 20s is who we date now. So that's reduced flaking and ghosting, like a lot. That more than anything. Going on multiple dates means that people are more likely to stick around, as in we don't have sex, like I said, until the second date. So there's just less flaking and ghosting now because people get to know you a little bit. There's a little bit more investment. You're not just some random person. So there's all these things that we can sort of do. But yeah, to some extent, ghosting and flaking is just something that can happen. It is reality. And the sooner that we can accept that, the less stress there is, and the sooner we can be at peace. Since legit, this is my first year of actually trying and putting myself out there, I really am happy about my results. Not only because I reached a lot of dating goals, but because of my own growth. I used to be extremely scared of rejection, like bad, but now it doesn't bother me as much. That's amazing. I sometimes might have a breakdown or two, but I keep remembering that this is a numbers game. Plus, I also learned how to not take things personally because they don't know you, especially online. It's just a picture. That helped a lot to remember. Yeah, the same thing I say, like if someone signs up for the coaching, but then they don't end up going ahead, I don't take it personally. It's like they just didn't want coaching. It doesn't mean that they hate me. They don't know me. Even if you watch like literally 500 of my videos, you really don't know me. I did a video about this like 5 days ago. The video was called, "You Think You Know Me, But You Don't." You really don't fucking know me at all. Like these videos are not me. These videos are like, they are me, but it's like 5% of me. You're only seeing me in the context of coaching and giving you content and helping people. Like this is self-improvement, Andy. This isn't all of the different facets of Andy. Just like any of you, the person that you are in the workplace is not the person you are on the weekend or when you're with your friends or when you're with your family. Like it's only a small part of you. So I don't take that personally. And the same as if someone goes on a date with me or just matches with me on Tinder or Hinge or whatever, they don't know me at all. I don't know them. We haven't even met yet. Or even if we have met, we've had sex once or twice. They don't know me. They know what my dick is like. They know what I'm like in the bedroom a little bit. They've only had sex with me once or twice. So even then, they don't really know what I'm like sexually, but they only know a tiny bit of you. And that can help you not take rejection personally. It's why I say, I did this video called a rejection of your offer is not a rejection of you. In other words, if somebody says, I don't want to have sex with you, or they ghost you, or they flake on you, or whatever, they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting what you were offering. You were offering, let's meet up for a drink, let's have sex. And they just said, no, thank you. In the same way that if I say to you, would you like a glass of water? And you say no, you didn't reject me. You rejected the glass of water. You said no, thank you to the glass of water. So all of these different ways of thinking can help us stop taking it so personally. And then it doesn't hurt so much because we're like, oh, it's not even about me. Or even if it is about me, even if this person doesn't like me, that's okay. There's somebody else out there who will like me. So he goes on to say, this is where the good part comes in. Something I've done this year was take a lot of breaks when I felt overwhelmed or just down for about some moments. Awesome. So about 2 weeks ago, I decided to download Bumble and try again. Something told me to do it that day. Long story short, I matched with this girl that I used to have a hella huge crush on in high school. She's actually one of the hottest women that I went out with. We had an amazing first date. She asked if she could kiss me. That's so rare, by the way. A girl making a move is so unbelievably rare. And we made out. She even brought up the idea of seeing each other again. Awesome. And we did. I invited her over to my place to watch a movie, and one thing led to the other, and we had sex. I finally did it. And it couldn't have been more perfect. No awkwardness, just good vibes. She was amazing in bed, and surprisingly, I didn't do so bad either, lol. Maybe because I was so damn attracted to her. Yeah, that can help. And the best part was she was desiring me by the way she did some stuff. It was mind-blowing, and even after 4 days later, as I typed this, I still think about it. I proved to myself that I'm good enough for what I want, and if I don't give up, I can reach anything I want. Yeah, that's a big part of the reason why a lot of guys want to improve their sex life is to prove to themselves that they're worthy and that they can do the things that they want to do. And then you translate that into other jobs. You start a business, you go and lose weight or do any of the other things that you might want. But I couldn't have had this transformation if it wasn't for you, man. If I haven't soaked up your philosophies or mindset, especially the not giving up mindset, and it happened right before the year ended too. If you want to know what I achieved, I will list them here. Number 1. I got laid and we are friends with benefits. That's awesome. I hope you guys have a shitload of fun. One fun thing you two can do if you want to is both of you write a sexual bucket list. So you say to her, hey, write a list of everything that you want to try, like everything you've always fantasized about or that you've never tried, or maybe you tried it once but not enough and you want to do more. And I'll write a list of everything I want to try in the bedroom, like every kinky thing. And I promise you I won't judge anything you put on your list as long as you promise not to judge what's on my list. And then we come together and we just try some stuff from the list. That can make it really fun. And that makes it feel like it's a self-improvement. It's like you have a self-improvement mindset. Like every time you both go into bed, you're like, hey, how can we get even better at sex? How can we practice sex? How can we learn? How can we grow? How can we evolve? How can we even grow together? Because we're getting better at sex together. So I love doing that. And I do that with every girl that I sleep with or date. I faced my fear of rejection and I'm putting myself out there more, not just with dating, but also my writing and filmmaking dream. That's amazing. This is what I was talking about. Like, when you work on your sex life and you improve yourself and, meet a couple of women and have a few amazing sexual experiences, it shows you, holy shit, I can overcome my biggest fear and I can improve myself. Fuck. Maybe I have this dream of filmmaking or writing and that really scares me. But if I could have sex when I was terrified, maybe I can do this filmmaking shit. It gives you more confidence. I feel extremely more confident and happy due to practicing stoicism, and getting laid helps too, let's be real. Yeah, stoicism is a big part, and stoicism basically means there's a whole lot to stoicism, but it's essentially outcome independence or being non-attached, not being attached to an outcome. Being okay if somebody says no to you, being okay if somebody says yes to you. Basically, stoicism is whatever's going to happen in the outside world, other people, external events, all of that shit, I'm going to be okay. In other words, the external world can go fucking crazy, but my internal world, my internal mind is going to be as calm as I possibly can. So stoicism is amazing. I worked on my self-improvement and self-love, like gym, meditating, etc. Yeah, I talk about self-love a hell of a lot on this channel, obviously. It's the reason why most of you want to achieve goals. You want to achieve goals and have sex and make money and all of that kind of cool shit because you want to be happy. And part of happiness is you want to love your life. The person who loves their life is happy. And the easiest way to love your life is to love yourself. If you like who you are as a person, if you like the things you do every day, if you enjoy your life and you love your life, it's pretty fucking easy to be happy. I went on 45 dates. Could have been more if I hadn't flaked or if they lived closer. I realized that I'm really coachable. Yeah, because you're willing to take action and you're humble and you're willing to listen. And this led me to want to find more mentors. That's amazing. That's awesome. I believe that I can do anything now if I don't give up, keep improving, and I really now believe that I'm good enough. Yeah, the funny thing you'll realize is that you were always good enough. You just told a story that you weren't. And anyone else listening, let me get semi-serious for a second. You're all good enough. You just tell a story that you're not. You tell a story that you're not tall enough, that you're not attractive enough, that you need to lose weight, that you need to get more confidence, that you need to do this thing more. For some of you ladies out there, you tell a story that you're not assertive enough, or that you're not a badass bitch, or whatever it might be that you want, or maybe you're too much of a bitch, or you're too old, or you're too this, or you're too that. We tell these stories that we're not good enough. You are all good enough. But you're just telling a story that you're not. And you think that success is going to be the thing that shows you that you're good enough. But all that success does is show you, oh, fuck, I can do what I set out to achieve. That's all that self-improvement is. It's setting a goal, working towards it, making it happen, and then realizing, oh, shit, I was always good enough. I was always the person who was capable of this. I just didn't realize it yet. And so, yes, part of that process is taking action and working towards some goals and taking some baby steps to show yourself that you can do it. But you're capable of it right now. We just tell a story that we're not good enough. But you are. You're all good enough. Anyways, I have so much more I could write or say, but this is the rundown. Man, you really changed my life. I will keep rooting for you, and I wish you lots of success. I appreciate that, my brother. That's very kind of you. So I will finish this video up. Amazing story, amazing success. Really, really, really love and appreciate everybody who ever writes this kind of stuff to me. This was an email, again, from a client that I did a call with a while ago, and he's been following the content and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Feel free to leave a comment, ladies and gentlemen, and tell this guy how fucking amazing he is. So I think this is some really, really, really good shit. Really brave, really courageous, and really appreciate the openness and the vulnerability. So all of you who might be feeling a little lonely at Christmas time, I hope this series has brought you a little bit of community, a little bit of connection. Feel free to leave comments and keep asking questions and I'll do content on them. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there and crush those goals.